I don't know about you guys, but the future to Silent Hill does not look great to me. Silent Hill: The Short Message, Konami's long-awaited return to the Silent Hill franchise. Released on the PS5 as some sort of appetizer, while fans impatiently wait for the Silent Hill 2 remake. But how does this one compare to the rest of the franchise? Was it even scary? And how well did I like the game overall? Let's find out. But first and foremost, if you've been watching my content for a little bit, please consider subscribing. I post content weekly, and you don't want to miss a thing. Thanks. Story. Silent Hill is always meant to be a dark and depressing journey into the psyche of the game's lead character, with many twists and turns along the way. The Short Message is no different in that regard. In the game, you play as an artist named Anita, who received a mysterious text message from her friend Maya to meet her at an abandoned apartment complex. Upon her arrival, she's concerned because Maya is nowhere to be found, but while exploring this rundown complex, she starts to stumble upon Maya's art, seemingly suggesting that she's somewhere within. Anita has multiple attempts at texting Maya, with many of these messages falling on deaf ears, until eventually, one text comes in, asking Anita if she's found it yet. Unsure what she's supposed to be looking for, Anita continues exploring the abandoned complex, and continues to find more and more art painted along the walls, until eventually she comes across a terrifying monster covered in flowers, resembling many of the pieces of art that they love to create. Anita must run for her life as she's stalked and chased while uncovering the truth behind her past traumas, before she's trapped forever and loses all will to survive. Initially, I wasn't into the story for this experience, and it came off kind of preachy. But I must admit, as the game progressed, I did find myself more invested. They even added something unique to the game, called the Silent Hill Phenomenon, where they imply that the fog and horrors of the town can manifest anywhere, and it's heavily implied that it's a manifestation of someone's personal mental illness. And honestly, I do think that lessens the overall lore of what Silent Hill has built throughout the years. And if this is where the series is headed, which I'm sure it is in Silent Hill Townfall, as that name seems to imply, then I don't know how I feel about the new era of Silent Hill yet. But as far as this story is concerned, my only major complaint is that the ending didn't really have a great payoff, and it ended very suddenly. But as the title suggests, this was just a short message, and a short message indeed. Graphics. Graphically, the abandoned complex of the Short Message and its rundown nature is ironically beautiful. They nail the environment and atmosphere so well in this game, and although I didn't personally find it scary, it was definitely a great showcase of what Konami can build in the future. And deadass, it has me excited. The character model for Anita also looked pretty great, but I must admit that they could use some more work, and I think the development team were aware of that shortcoming by the addition of the real-life set pieces and actors in game. This allowed them to save time and money on facial animations, by not having to render entire cutscenes where the interactions between the two lead characters might not have had the same payoff. Stylistically, development teams have been known to add real-life models to create a more haunting atmosphere in game, and to have it parallel our own. Alan Wake 2 was a great showcase for this. But I do think the Short Message, although I found it quite fitting for the game's atmosphere, it does seem like the developers wanted to shortcut graphical workings. Gameplay. Now here is where the Short Message really started to go downhill for me. I won't lie, the gameplay in this game is practically non-existent. You essentially walk from set piece to note to set piece again, then rinse and repeat. The only actual part in the game where you can die, and I would consider actual gameplay, is where you're running away from the flower monster. Which, by the way, I didn't find the design scary at all. But being chased in any capacity in a video game can be intense at times. These sections require you to find the correct sequence of doors to run through, and essentially juke the monster to find a way out of the maze, until you find the next section of the game. You'll encounter these sections in game 3 times actually, with the final one being the most annoying, because you must find 4 items that are scattered around the maze, to help Anita rekindle her memories, and if you're caught by the flower monster, then you must find all 4 pieces from the beginning again. Like, no bullshit, it's a pain in the ass. Although it wasn't the worst experience ever, I've found $10 horror games that have a better gameplay loop than this, and even though this was free, I do think that Silent Hill deserves better. They didn't even have any riddles or puzzles beyond one instance, and that should have been the main aspect of an experience like this. I would be lying if I didn't say that the future of Silent Hill's gameplay has me concerned, and I hope that when we get Silent Hill 2 Remake, or whatever Townfall on F will be, that they get all this worked out and they bring us an experience that the OG fans will truly love and be proud of. Horror elements. I must admit that they nailed the atmosphere for this experience, and I say experience because I don't consider walking simulator horror games games. And honestly, I would be very surprised if anyone found this very scary. Sure, an abandoned apartment complex where tons of people go to end their lives is a creepy concept, but I never felt scared while walking around. The most intense moments in the entire experience is during the chase sequences, and even then, it lost all sense of horror about how annoyed I would get by getting lost and caught by the flower monster. Story-wise, the experience does have good horror elements, and the subject matter gets dark, like really dark. So dark that the game has a hotline at the end of each chapter, and no, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, deep down, I can appreciate what they're trying to do here, and I understand why they're doing that. They don't want to give that subject matter center stage, but then why make a game centered around that at all? The disclaimers do nothing but take you out of the experience fairly quickly, and honestly gave me the vibe that the developers themselves were uncomfortable with covering the subject matter, and didn't want to offend anyone. But if that's the case, then don't do it at all, and come up with something else. This seemed less of a horror game and more so an interactive PSA, which isn't what I want in the future of Silent Hill. Silent Hill and beyond! Initially, I was very much looking forward to the future of Silent Hill once Konami announced their return to the franchise. But after the short message and the combat trailer for Silent Hill 2 Remake, I'm far less convinced. I must admit, the combat for Silent Hill 2 Remake looks janky as hell. Bullet penetration, gun audio, and certain animations need reworking. And honestly, I hope that they take as much time as they need for the future of Silent Hill, especially Silent Hill 2 Remake. These games deserve the best possible quality, and they should be going head to head with their direct competitors, which has always been Capcom and Resident Evil. I'm looking forward to Townfall and F, and at least for Townfall, it seems like it'll incorporate the whole Silent Hill phenomenon thing into the game, almost as if the town falls on an entirely new area. It's a decent concept, but we'll have to wait and see. And ultimately, we have no idea what F will be about. I'm hoping it'll be Silent Hill 5, but maybe I'm getting too far ahead of myself, because who knows if they're even capable of carrying the huge fan expectations of whatever a Silent Hill 5 will be one day. Beyond all that, I hope all goes well with the Silent Hill 2 remake and that we'll get more remakes down the line. Give us Silent Hill 1, 3, and 4. I want them all, and only time will tell if they can deliver, but for now, I'll remain optimistic. Overall, 6 out of 10. When Silent Hill: The Short Message was just a leak and rumor, I was extremely excited for a new potentially free Silent Hill for the PS5, but upon its release, I was left with nothing but disappointment. This version of Silent Hill did have some decent concepts story-wise, but I didn't find it very scary or fun. This experience is the definition of one and done, and compared to the legacy of Silent Hill, it's very upsetting. The Silent Hill games created by Team Silent had so much replayability with combat and riddle difficulty, and they always had multiple endings. This new Silent Hill has me asking myself many questions, but the main one is, why does this game even exist? What was the point in this release? It didn't do anything substantial, and it hardly even embodied the identity of Silent Hill. I just hope whatever ends up happening with Silent Hill 2 Remake, and the future of Silent Hill video games as a whole, that they can create something more memorable than this, and ultimately make the longtime fans happy. Now thank you guys so much who stayed the entire time. Silent Hill: The Short Message was mid, lacking exploration, puzzles, and the most important aspect of a horror game, the scares. Atmosphere alone cannot carry a horror game, and walking simulators can never be great ones. Now let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys a fan of Silent Hill: The Short Message? Are you guys looking forward to the future of Silent Hill? And are you guys a fan of it being on the PS5? Let me know everything in the comments section. Now remember to like, comment, subscribe, do anything you guys can to help me. I am just one guy and I make these videos because it is my passion. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. This has been Drew Spacely. Peace. Sakura Head will haunt your dreams. Oh, come on. Are they serious? What the fuck is this? Sorry. One more thing. I wasted a lot of time and energy making this video right here, so please, go check it out.